Antwerp community members all know this familiar sound. But how well do people know the drummer behind the drums? Whether it be football or basketball season, sophomore Teeghun Marlin adds a flair to the band's performance with his entertaining tricks and explosive energy. Marlin began playing the drums when he was just 4 years old. It felt natural for him to tap on objects or the floor at a young age.
I started out on a set of 3 oatmeal cans that my grandparents had over at their house. I would go over there and beat on them every time I came over. And then later on, when I was 4 years old, I would play on this American Idol decorated drum set for the size of a 4-year-old. And at that age, it was just a fling, and I would play whatever I wanted with those little drumsticks that I had.
Marlin's interest in drumming continued to grow as his grandparents took him to concerts in Van Wert and at the Paulding County Fairgrounds every year to watch small bands play. One band that really stood out to Marlin was Spike and the Bulldogs.
This band played old rock from the 50s and the 60s, and one song they would play in particular was the song Wipeout. Wipeout is what you hear in the movie The Sandlot when the kid gets chased by the dog, and watching them play in person, I became hooked when I saw the drummer play, and there I understood how much talent it took to be a drummer, and from that point on, I knew I just wanted to have that same talent and be just as good on the drum.
Marlin first began taking drumming lessons in kindergarten from an Antwerp High School student. When that student started college, Marlin continued his lessons through 4th grade with a drummer from Hicksville.
He taught me everything that I know now, and I'm just grateful for those lessons because I was learning stuff that I would be learning now as a high schooler and middle schooler.
Marlin believes his experience with the school's band has also helped him tremendously.
At first, I was only like a drum set drummer, and in 5th grade, I learned how to play the snare drum and then the bass drum. And then throughout later middle school and early high school, I've learned to play the marching snares and the quads or tenors.
Marlin has many fond memories associated with playing the drums. When he was younger, he would often play a variety of songs on a drum set in his garage during the summer and winter nights. It was during these late nights that he started building a supportive fan base.
I can remember hearing from neighbors saying how good I sounded, and even now, some nights after basketball games and football games, parents will come up to me and tell me how good I sounded.
From when I started in 8th grade and through now, the amount of support that the band has gotten has been absolutely amazing, and I hope that'll just continue to grow and evolve for years to come.
This previous summer, before the marching band season began, Marlin decided to challenge himself as a drummer and learn how to perform tricks in hopes of engaging the crowd more.
I began practicing Jig 2 blindfolded, and I had some success with that. And then with the help of the other percussion section members, I was able to practice Jig 2 upside down one day during class, and it worked out pretty well. And I just decided I was going to add it to what we could bring to football games and perform it for everyone to see.
During this past marching band season, Marlin went head-to-head with a drummer from Hardin Northern at the first playoff game during halftime. The opposing drummer approached Marlin and asked him if he knew how to play Jig 2, and the two of them battled it out.
I'm pretty confident in my abilities to play the drums, so I knew going in I wouldn't have struggled with it. And so when I got challenged to a Jig 2 match, so to say, I knew I was prepared to battle it out.
This face-off has given Marlin the idea to continue interactive challenges with opposing schools.
I feel like it would be a good thing to add to the football games next year because it'll give the chance for drummers to showcase their talents against each other. It would be a good tool to see how we could stack up against other drummers.
Marlin is considering drumming in college to further advance his skills. Marlin also hopes to pursue a career that involves drumming, such as a drumming teacher. No matter what he decides, he will always be grateful for the memories he's making now and the support and appreciation the community has shown for his drumming talents. Hope Thomas-Roebel, ALS TV.